Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kerm with Brian the Grizzly. And
Yes.
we're going to talk about some Bad Batch. Finally, some good Bad Batch for
It was
season
like
2.
finally we made it.
Yeah, so we got a double episode. We got 7 and 8 coming out this week. And yeah, they were a much needed step forward, giant leap forward. Great.
Like honestly,
Great.
I was looking at 6. I was like, man, I'm done with this. I'm almost done. And 7, and the story was so good. It took a place that had no plot for 6 episodes basically, and took the plot and they put it on fast forward. They put some crack on it, something like it was unbelievable how much you got in one fell swoop. It was so good. I loved it, and it didn't even have any of the main characters in the first like 28 minutes.
Shit, yeah, that first episode. Yeah, we didn't get any of the Bad Batch guys.
Nope.
You know, but I'm so glad they released 7 and 8 together. That's the good call. Because if you did 7 and we had to wait for 8, that might, again, why this is why you should just put it all out at once. But these two really went together so perfectly where it just felt like one big episode. But yeah, the episode 7, it was just about really the Senate. You know, like all this like arguing in the Senate.
It was almost world world creating. Like even though we knew exactly what's going on, we know exactly how the Senate is during this time, but it just it opened our eyes that this is what's going on during all this time, and reminded you. And then you see, characters that you've seen before, and you understand the time period now, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it really reminded me, like after that first episode when with them talking about getting rid of the clones and this and that, it reminded me of like two major things. It was one of like just like how our country deals with like veterans. You know, that was definitely like one thing. It was like oh no,
Man, that was tough
like
even here.
Yeah. And then 2 was like also kind of like slavery in a way, because they're like, oh, here's these people that live in our republic. These are people that are part of our society, but they don't get a vote.
They've helped shape our society. They've done they fought for us.
Yeah,
but they don't deserve any representation.
Yeah, so that was definitely 2 things that I kind of got from it. Was that, and I was like, damn, that's something I never thought about. Like never thought about like them not having representation, and like, what do you do when you're old? Like of course they're gonna like kick you to the curb, because every country does that to their veterans.
But they get old fast,
and they get older fast. Yeah,
accelerated aging.
Yeah. So, but they're literally created to fight. Like they don't know how to chill. Like they just don't know. So the few that actually wind up getting over that life, like we find out in Rebels and stuff, like it took a long time for them to like realize like I don't need to fight. Like it was a lot of like interpersonal change and stuff. But not every clone is going to be able to do that. It's just ingrained in them.
But they talked about that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
like, well, I'm going to fight now. I'm going to go fight. I want to go get those guys. I'm going to fight. So what you going to do after that? Yeah. And then what happened when you get too old to lift a weapon? What are you going to do then? I'm talking about your future from there. You need to start thinking about that. But they're like, we weren't raised that way. That's not what we thought. We think about just the next battle.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said, because we weren't programmed to think about that. And I was like, oh, that's it's obviously, yeah, that makes sense. Like you don't create, killing machines and teach them like, oh, this is after you're done killing.
Worry about your future.
Yeah. So that is like, I'm like, damn it, Dave Filoni, you're so good. Because like, stuff I never thought about. And then and then that's just the clones. And then what's gonna happen with the stormtroopers later on? Because like these are actual people, and that was the whole thing. It's like, oh, here we want soldiers that are in the Republic, that fight for the Republic, are like like the whole like they're for us, by us kind of like thing, where these guys are just
killing
created.
machines.
You know,
Yeah,
they're like
they're
human,
not important.
human machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but it was whatever. So I was like, that was really interesting. Episode 7, really, really, really interesting.
Well, I didn't mind episode 8. So you get there, and now
Oh,
they bring the Bad Batch in, and now we have this idea, this ideal heist. We need to protect these people, and then this is the first episode that I did not hate Omega. I did not. And I was like, I texted it. I said, like, "Oh man, finally Omega made me feel good about stuff." You know, like even throughout the whole episode, her questions, the way she stated, "I am also, I'm a clone. I was there. I saw it. I know what's going on." And then there's like, "I'm willing to testify," and they said it doesn't matter if you testify.
Yeah.
Almost like, once again, you're not a full citizen.
Mm-hmm.
You're not full human being. You're only
Yeah.
3/5 of a person. You know, that's why I got, again, 3/5 of a person. You know, that whole slavery thing. That's why you don't get to vote. That's why it doesn't matter what you think. So we have all this representation here. You don't get any. Don't get any. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot of that vibe as well. You know, that your opinion doesn't matter because you do not matter, because you're not a real person. You're a number. Yeah. You know, and I was like, fuck. You know, it is kind of like crazy. You know, for years I never really thought about that, and then Dave Filoni is like, here's an hour, you know, like just to like really fuck with your head and like make you really like go back and feel bad, you know, for these clones, you know,
and start thinking, who really is the bad guy? How bad are the bad guys? And you know, it was the Emperor, or is it the entire Senate? Is it everybody? And you're looking at everyone who, you know, is looking at them like they don't matter. So I used to feel sorry for you, and now I'm looking at you like you're a douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like, I'm not gonna say names, but like having a person in charge that allows other people to also state their ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like no, they suck because I agree they suck, and also the person in charge says they suck, kind of thing. You know, I was like,
I
okay.
see where you're going.
Yep. Like, I see what you're saying without saying it, but yeah, man. Like, and then so episode 7, like you said, was great, and then episode 8 took it to a whole other level especially with Omega. Like that scene where she got angry, like sad angry. Like I've seen that in person in real life from people, you know, where oh man, that was like damn, like that was so good, you know. I think that this might be the moment Omega changes as a character from that annoying brat to like somebody who has a purpose and something that they want to fulfill.
And this is the time for her to change, because at the end of the episode, she loses Echo.
Mm-hmm.
To lose Echo, so that forces her to grow up a little bit. And Evie Echo's like, hey, watch after these guys. So Omega's, I think she will be that person that watches after these guys as they get into trouble and stuff like that. I thought that was just so awesome the way they did that, and great timing. The timing was perfect with it. And how did you feel like the fact that everyone else knew the Echo was going to stay?
I
mean, they foreshadowed it in the previous episodes that he was unhappy with what they were doing.
What was going on? Yeah. It felt like he was in a rut and stuff like that, which, you know, it was a good payoff. You know, like, yeah, you go back to Rex. That's your like group of people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you belonged with the Bad Batch when it makes sense, but ultimately you belong with Rex. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you guys live together, grew up together. Like, you are your group. You know what I mean? So especially now after going through everything, and now Rex is kind of like doing a Bad Batch kind of style stuff where he
now understands why they're doing what they're doing, and he not just accepts them but agrees with them. Yeah, we might have to do it this way.
Yeah. So I thought that was good. I at first I was like, oh really? But then, like you said, I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, that's where he belongs, is with Rex.
But here's the other thing I was thinking. They did all that work. We did all this from episode 7 and episode 8 to did nothing. And Palpatine was still ahead of it and still got what he wanted and really used them.
Yeah.
To get rid of the guy he needs to get rid of.
But also, like, not only still got what he wanted, but was able to expedite it. Like, he was able to, like, oh, now we can go triple fast on it. Like, it was like the Emperor is that's why I hate the fucking sequels, because this episode shows you, like, even more. Like, it just, here's another, like, you know, coin in the bucket of how smart, like, not how badass the Emperor is, how smart the Emperor is.
And he planned it all out. He planned
crazy.
everything out, and he made everyone look stupid. He knew what he was doing. And
yeah, man. Like, right at the right time, and he's like, oh, it was his fault, and it was the clone's fault too for following him blind. I was like, fuck. I'm like, he got everything. He got rid of the fat, you know, by that guy who, you know, screwed everything up, and then took the clones with him. I was like, damn.
And you know, again, the clones do the work for him. He didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
He was like,
again. You know, and I think they said it. I think Rex or I forgot, or Hunter said something like, Hunter. "Oh, yeah, he tricked us again. He's steps ahead.
Always 2 steps ahead of us."
Yeah. So that was, damn, man. That really got me when he came out and he said that and he did that. I was like, wow. I was like, he's always playing both sides, and he always wins. He always wins. He did that in the prequels. He was playing both sides. You're gonna win.
He's doing it in front of everybody. Like, it's amazing. Like, he's doing it right in front, and people are so afraid of him, and they're just siding with him, and no one's going to go against them, because we obviously know they're not going to go against them. So it's just it was so well done. This was a very good. These last 2 episodes are very good, very well done, and was such a Star Wars episode. I felt the Star Wars in it.
Yeah, same. So after I watched both of them, I went on Twitter and saw a lot of people talking about it. I was like, I kind of looked it up and see what people were saying, and I forgot who put it, but they put like Bad Batch, you know, and then, you know, the is better than Andor. I was like, fuck. I'm like, why though? Like, I feel like Andor looks better. It should be better on paper,
because it doesn't feel Star Warsy.
You know, and this one didn't have any Jedi. I mean, it had the Emperor, but it had
the Emperor. It had for a minute. It had the Senate. It has, you know, lightsaber stuff. Like, not like lightsaber, but at least, you know, things that you recognize and say that's what they do. You know, they fight lasers.
Andor had it too. I don't know, but I know it didn't have a lot.
No, it had like no force, no nothing.
You know, but I mean, this episode really didn't have any force, because it was just like the Senate and clones
and the Emperor.
You know, the Emperor was cool, but he just came out and said like 2 things and just proved like the Emperor is still a badass.
Yeah, but it's just having the Senate, having the Emperor, having the clones. That's enough for it to feel very Star Wars.
To get it, because, man, I was just so engaged in these 2 episodes, and I wasn't engaged in any episodes as much as I was this one with Andor. Yep. Like, this one, I was so much with Andor. The best episode was the train heist, you know, because it had TIE fighters, and I think it had like enough Star Wars stuff where I'm like, okay, I like it.
I agree,
but
that's
it's just
exactly
like,
it. You know,
but again, this show has a lot of filler. It had the first episode and then filler all the way until episode 7.
Yep.
You know, it was so good. It was so good. You know,
I think it also shows how little it took to overcast Andor. That's how little it took.
Yeah.
2 episodes, and we're like, thank God. You know?
Yeah, like again, it's like, oh, this is great Star Wars content. Like, I was so because it just makes you think at the end, like everything, how everything happened and it all went down, and you're just like, fuck, like what? Like you are literally up against an unstoppable force. Like there's no way you can win. Like what do you do? Like just it was really really
just really well
great,
done.
a great little story, 2-episode story. They lost in the end, even though they did everything to win and they thought they won.
We
They
told
still
the
lost.
truth, and we told the truth. We did everything right, and it didn't matter.
Yeah,
Nothing.
and then he goes, and then he manipulated it to get what he wanted.
And he knew it was coming. He saw it coming.
Because then he technically the emperor didn't lie.
Nope.
He didn't go out there and didn't say anything that was not true, which is crazy.
Isn't that the guys who manipulate the most are the ones who don't lie, to tell you exactly the truth, but they just form it the way they need to form it? Those are the best ones. Those are the ones who manipulate everyone, and you can't fight if he's not lying to you. You can't fight it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. Yeah. It's just, yeah. This whole these 2 episodes were amazing. Were really really amazing. So one thing before we start closing up a little bit, I thought that was Crosshair. Well, because it has a little Crosshair, looking around all the time. I'm like, oh shit, okay, Crosshair is gonna be in this episode, and then it got shot, and then the whole time he's in the mask. I'm like, that's not him? Is it him? I'm like, no, it's not him.
Because Crosshair would have had a mask on, you would have saw him.
Yeah. And I think he has like scars on his face. I could be wrong, but yeah. I was just like, damn. But then we have another like how many assassins
do they have?
Clone assassins do we have? Yeah.
Or they just making them up as they go along.
Yeah.
To make the clones look even worse.
Oh man, shit! I didn't even think about that.
Because now think about it, if the senator was killed, the clone would have killed the senator, and it would look. He would have.
Look at these rogue clones that we need to get rid of. Fuck.
We need to get rid of all of them. So it's like the emperor had everything the entire way. He had it all planned out. No matter what, no matter who won, he was going to win.
Yeah. And that's what he does. But I didn't even think about that. That's true because, because even the senator gets killed, boom, still a clone fault.
Exactly.
This happened. It's the clone's fault. Like we need to get rid of the clone because the clones are the last.
Think about it. So the senator gets killed. They have to do an investigation into it. They find out what's going on. They find out what happened on the planet. And so the clones were the problem, and he was the problem, and he already had the scapegoat already ready there.
Yeah. So it was like no matter. So if it was the easy like transition, and no one fought against the movement to start a new army, boom, easy win. But then if there's any problems, he was able to win at any point. Man,
no matter what.
Yeah. See, I'm like that's what makes it so great. It's just like this evil bad guy that is the really really bad evil bad guy, like even worse than Vader. Yeah, this is why.
And why does Vader follow him? Well, this is why. He's good at the Force, and he is unbelievably smart.
He manipulates him.
Was it kind of good, cool seeing Bail Organa? Like seeing him.
I love seeing Bail.
Once again, it kind of wraps you up in that Star Wars blanket and makes you feel all cozy again, and it feels Star Warsy without having to do anything. Andor needs to be taking lessons of how you do that.
Yeah.
Without seeing a Skywalker.
Yeah. Or even a Jedi. In this episode, we didn't even see Jedis.
Did we? Did we?
Yeah. That's my theory. That's my theory.
That's a good theory. I think Omega, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Omega might be Force sensitive somehow.
Force sensitive. Exactly.
Because like I said, Filoni knows how to he knows how to fix bad shit. You know what I mean? People didn't like the prequels. And then he goes, here's the Clone War animated series. And it makes the prequels better. One of the worst movies before The Last Jedi was the Clone Wars. Was episode 2.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Yeah.
He made it better because he's like, all right, cool. Well, we're going to get into little stories and details and he has a Padawan and like all this like cool
We're gonna
stuff.
give you backstory, and we're gonna tell you everything you need to know, and we're gonna make it
Yeah.
so much better right now.
Yeah.
And you know what he
Yeah.
did? He did it. Like, he dropped the
Yeah.
mic on it.
Yeah. And I think he's slowly setting up how Snoke was created and how the Emperor in the prequels kind of did what he did. Because right now it's very stupid. Like, oh, there's a million Death Star ships under the ice. Like, what? You know, but I feel like if Filoni could fix it, possibly, maybe, or make it seem a little less stupid.
I'm telling you, between this and Ahsoka, Filoni's going to fix it all. He's gonna be like, excellent. It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. And at the end, he's gonna go to like Bob Iger's, like, money, please.
Exactly.
Make me in charge.
And he drops the mic. He said, "And that's how you do this." All right, give me the title.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Give me the keys. Give me the keys.
I got this.
And he does that. Come on. This is making myself laugh. He does the Kamala Harris thing. He was like, "We did it, Joe," but he's like, "We did it, George." Is like George Lucas on the other side.
Except George Lucas will be crying like the son that didn't make it. They made it finally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
One tear goes into his beard. Oh man. But anything else, man?
No, I mean, this is fun. I love it. I love the Galactic Senate. I just thought all this was great. It was perfectly placed and it was needed because it was boring before this.
Yeah. I was getting a little over Sid and all that stuff. So, but man, cool. I think you said we have 16 episodes, so we're halfway through the season.
Halfway through, guys, and this was a good halfway point.
Yeah. I'm just afraid I already know we're gonna get some filler next week, but
obviously, if you give us two good ones, come on, you know that.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be some filler. But hopefully we don't get filler until episode like 15 and 16. Hopefully we get could sprinkle a few good ones in there at least.
Well, they have to because when Mando starts, you're gonna lose everybody unless you have some good episodes coming out.
Yeah, agreed. But cool. But if you're watching live, stick around. If you're watching a replay, let us know what you thought about episode 7 and 8 of the Bad Batch. Did you like it as much as we did? Did you kind of felt it was more of the same? Or are you just not even bothering with the Bad Batch? I know a lot of people just kind of gave up on it after episode like 2. So, but leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We're going to be back next week talking about the next episode and see how that one goes. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share with people. Share with some other Star Wars fans. We love to have some more Star Wars people in the comments. But
hey, guys, here's hoping for another good one. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
all of us together.
Yep. Do that positive meditation like Omega was doing.
Exactly.
See if that works. But cool. But if you're live, stick around. If you're on replay, thank you, and we will see you guys in the next video.
He calls it positive meditation. I call it the Force.